Alrighty fellas, new PTB, new killer, new survivor, it's all here. I'm just showing you we're at the screen at the moment because, you know, I literally found out about this 10 minutes ago. A couple of things I'm going to mention for context as we log in here. Very opinionated person, very honest person. It's all context for my reactions to this. As I say, this is literally live reactions. As I say, the way I found out about this was literally 10 minutes ago. Literally is the word of the day, apparently. When I logged into Twitch, hovered over Otstarver's stream, and his little tag thing said, "Ayo, new PTB killer stream," you know. And then I went over to Steam, had a look at the betas, and yes, it wasn't a lie, it is here. So we're going to have a look. Haven't seen a single thing, didn't know this was even coming today. Vague inkling. Fuck is this? There you go, as I say, live reactions. Save data progress on PC your personal profiles. Or progress, yeah, will not be transferred. I think we all know this, don't we? At this point. Where was I? Yeah. I have a vague inkling about what this killer is because I do read leaks. So I'm going to hazard a guess if nothing's changed before we actually click onto this. This is apparently a woman and a dog. A bounty hunter, I think. But we're going to have a look anyway. We're going to go straight into it. We'll have a check. Freddy is disabled on the PTB. Okay. Where are we? Yes, it is. The Houndmaster. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Let's get rid of this. Just get it out of the way.
Just you and me. Odds are in our favor.
Colour me impressed, boys. Now we're going to say the piece initially. Initial reactions, as I say. This lobby animation is fucking nice. Dude, she is at the risk of being just alert in the horde. She is fucking thick. I'll say that right now. I love the dog though, dude. I'm really interested to see how this is going. Oh. That's quite a nice effect, actually. The blade that's inside the cane, that's pretty cool. What the fuck is that? Dude, this is why, right, here comes the passion as well. This is why I just infinitely prefer original killers over licensed ones, mate. Because for all the shit that I actually give behaviour, this is going to come completely left-wing for if you're a new viewer, because I am very critical, usually, of this game. They fucking know how to design things, you know? Because this looks really fucking good, dude. Like, it looks really good. Like, this, because I go on about things not being horror in this game, because stuff like Trickster and stuff like that, you know? And this is, it's kind of out there, but it is kind of horror at the same time, you know? She's got the ripped face, the scar. This dog has fucking eaten somebody, by the looks of things, and the size of it would imply that as well. There is actually horror there. I have a feeling her power's going to be something to do with throwing this hand. And then the dog will go to that location, and if a survivor's near it, maybe it'll attack the survivor. I don't know. But let's have a look anyway. Let's stop stalling. How do I actually do this? Because the menus are fucking horrendous in this game. Right, here's the perks then. Actually, the power. Scent of Blood. The Houndmaster and her dog operate as one. Her commands are followed without question or delay. Why do I think this is going to be a copy and pasted knight? As again, we don't innovate or have ambition, you know, when we create things. We sort of just paste things over. Shut up, let's get on with it. Special ability Chase. The chase command sends the dog out at high speed. I'll be the judge of that. Pressing the power button again redirects the chase, pivoting the dog's path. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the dog is a pinball. When the dog catches the survivor, the dog starts a grab. The survivor becomes hindered and is pulled towards the Houndmaster, Deathslinger. The survivor can get free by stunning the dog, or can be rescued by another survivor. Of course they can, because look at the fucking size of this dog, but we're going to be able to, I don't know, tickle it in the face and it'll stun it, you know. Grabs that end, what? The survivor can get free by stunning the dog, or can be rescued by another survivor. Grabs that end. Oh yeah, grabs that end without injury. Just read it, you fucking prick. We're vulgar as well. I do apologise. That's not malicious. It's just me. Grabs the end without injury. Leave the survivor hindered. Okay, so that's a slowdown. Grab duration is shorter for survivors with the insurance status effect. Great. Special ability search. The search command sends the dog out to a target location, creating a search path. She is fucking night. Here we go again. We've recycled content. It has its own lullaby, and as it moves, its hound sense radius. The lullaby might be quite cool, actually, for atmosphere, maybe. Maybe it's growling, or like a howling that you can hear. Be interested to see what that sort of seems like in-game from the survivor's perspective. Its hound sense radius rises over distance travelled, so its detection range gets bigger the longer it's out there, apparently. Is what I'm getting from that anyway. Survivors who enter the radius are affected by hound sense and revealed by killer instinct. If the Houndmaster follows the dog's search path, she gains increased movement speed over time. Leaving the search path ends the bonus movement speed. Wow, that's going to get nerfed, because we nerfed Skull Merchant. We all know that survivors don't like added move speed in this game because it makes them have to use the brains. So that's going to be nerfed probably after the PTB. She probably will lose that movement speed effect, but, you know, they have to sell the killer. Special effect, Hound Sense. Healthy survivors affected by Hound Sense receive deep wounds. What? Healthy survivors? What's Hound Sense? Hound Sense is that the injure? It's got to be the injure then, right? Receive deep wounds when injured. Healthy survivors receive... Right, okay, so that must be attacking them, yeah. Injured survivors affected by Hound Sense suffer from louder grunts of pain. From that she spoke and I was trying to listen to it. I always appreciate voice acting as well. Injured survivors affected by Hound Sense suffer from louder grunts of pain and longer pools of blood when put into the dying state. Okay, that's... yeah, built-in Deerstalker. Right, well, power seems quite elaborate, but it kind of just seems like they've copied Deathslinger and Knight and forged them into one killer. There's a bit of a clipping issue going on with the animation as well. She sort of tilts in a weird way and then clicks back into place. We notice these things, fellas. I'm very driven by animation quality and things like that. This game lacks it quite a lot. She's got average height, standard terror radius, and she is 4.6. Beautiful. No killer in this current economy should be 4.4. But we'll see, you know. Right, perks. Before we look at these, we're going to make the general assumption that we make every single time. Most of these perks will never see the light of day because you need gen regressions or any sign. Like, it's either, these days it's aura reading or gen regression, or you just lose as killer. So we'll have to see what these are. I'm talking about high Mamare fellas. All Shaking Thunder. I was going to make a joke about the thighs and arse there, but we'll leave that to the wayside. After you fall from a height, adds credence to it, your lunge attack distance is increased by 75% for 16 seconds. This perk has a 5-second cooldown. No cooldown, basically. I mean, it's situational, but isn't that actually fucking just... That destroys coup de grace, right? The only other thing is that, you know, yeah, it's situational. You have to fall from height. And I don't think falling from heights, it counts when you go off, like, them hills on, like, the base maps, Macmillan's Auto Evens and Colwind. The little, you know, the little mounds where you can have hooks on top of them. I don't think that's a big enough distance for it to be a height. I don't know, it's like a sort of sprint burst balanced landing situation in it, but coup de grace, All Shaking Thunder. Because this only triggers when you fall from heights. The effect is fucking strong though. 75, that's nearly twice the normal lunge distance. And you get it for 16 seconds as well, so you don't have to use it immediately when you land. I don't know, I think that's pretty fucking good to be honest. But as a chase perk, I'll have to see how that works, but yeah. Scourge-Uck, we always love Scourge-Ucks because they always spawn in stupid fucking places or on the other side of the map. Jagged Compass, at the start of the trial up to 4, yeah. When a survivor is unhooked from a hook, it becomes a Scourge Hook. When you hook a survivor on a scourge hook, the aura of the generator with the most progress is revealed in yellow for 10 seconds. No. It's an info perk, but it just doesn't really do anything. You can see the gen that's about to be completed. That's basically what this does. I mean, when a survivor is unhooked from a hook, that's quite a nice effect. It becomes a scourge hook. But does that's not going to increase the number, though, is it? It doesn't say it increases the number. I'm assuming one of the other hooks that's just a pre-existing would fade into a normal hook, right? You could maybe use it as a hook repositioning tool for scourge hooks, but that's just ridiculous. Like, you probably wouldn't do that. Nah, I don't see the point of that, to be honest. I really don't. No quarter. When a survivor reaches 75% healing progress while self-healing, they are faced with continuous skill checks. It's, what's this, Merciless Storm for healing. If one of these skill checks is missed or the heal is interrupted, the survivor suffers from a broken status effect for 30 seconds. Yeah, it's Merciless Storm for healing. It's probably not going to happen though, because it has to be on self-healing. Yeah, I think that's shit, to be fair. No. Right, I think that's literally all we've got from this chapter in terms of perks, to be honest. That's not going to get used, mate, because you unhook a survivor and you just heal. That's not self-healing, that's survivor's healing, you know? Like, there's very little or very situational moments where a survivor is self-healing, I think. I always get survivors that just heal straight off the hook. Like, I don't, you know, whoever rescues them heals them with, like, We'll Make It and Resurgence. And Resurgence is actually meta at the moment. So there's literally no point to self-healing. I really don't see the point of that. But yeah. Well, we'll have a look at the Mori then, fellas, capping that off. I do think that this is quite decent, but again, it's quite situational at the same time. We'll have to see how it works, as I say, in the game, but yeah, sure. We'll have a look at the Mori. I'm very interested to see this. They do consistently make decent Mori animations, so we'll give them that. It's just when the killers are actually walking around in-game, they can't animate for shit. Every killer slides along the floor, and it looks fucking stupid. But we'll have a look at the Mori, fellas, so here it is. Okay, we've got gore in the game. This is a step towards what I wanted, fellas. I'm fucking happy with that, fellas. I'm going to say that right now, actually. I've said for a while now that I do believe this game would be a lot better in terms of atmosphere and horror if we had Dead Space-style Moris, where they are fucking nasty, and that is. Sorry to do this to Sable yet again. The squishiness there. You see how it's like soft? I'll show you that again. I'll speak when it happens. You can see the softness under a heal because it's going through the flesh. Like you're caving in the skull. This is what Dead Space does. Things like that, little details, visceral details, like that. See how it's like smooth, the motion, that kind of thing. That's really good. I do like that more. I do actually really like that more. She doesn't have a lesser Mori, does she, with the dog or anything? I don't think she does. It's like Pyramid Head's final judgment and things like that. Sadako's condemned. It doesn't say she does. I think it's just that more. I'm very happy with that though. As I say, it's gore. I do think there should be gore in this game. We've had a horror game for 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, that's had fucking no gore in it. You know, we've only very recently started getting like actual gory Moris, which I do believe should have been here since the very beginning, just the same as the finisher Mori should have been. But yeah, that is very, very nice. I do fucking like that, dude. I am, overall, as somebody who usually goes on about it, because I will just mention this because it is context and why I'm so... I might come across as quite harsh and things like that, but things like this, for example, because this is the same vein, and I am going to go there because it is relevant in this instance. This is not horror. It's not horror. It's a fucking statement, mate. Political statement, basically. You know, it's the femboy gay character, you know, that kind of thing. And let me tell you, when after saying this, I grew up with a gay best friend. Yeah. And, you know, he was one of the best friends I ever fucking had. Yeah. But at the same time, in terms of horror and the type of place this is in, it's not horror, you know. But the same, in the same breath, the same thing goes for stuff like, here's another example here, just to cap this off. This. That's not horror. I see this because of where I live in the world in the UK. I see this on the fucking street corner on the way to work, mate. You know, it's not fucking horror. You know, I look like this in the real world, you know. I'm sat here in a fucking hoodie, tracksuit, you know, things like that. This isn't horror. It's just some dickhead who hangs about on a street corner, you know? Like, it is what it is. My past in a character, you know, because I was one of these back in the day. I'm 27 years of age, you know, that kind of thing. The past I have well and truly left behind. But shit like that is, you know, it's, for me, it's not horror. And we get to this. This is obviously, it's similar, you know, it's the same kind of glitzy glamour kind of shit. But this kind of works for me, you know. It's done right in a sense because she looks creepy, you know. She's big and she's imposing, you know. Like, it works in that regard, and the fucking dog is just jacked, you know. Like, it works. So, yeah, very happy with this. It's just, you know, stuff like Trickster and things like that. It's just, it's fucking, it pisses me off because it's basically 3 months where I don't get any horror, you know, waiting for the next killer, that kind of thing. And as I said near the beginning of this, I fucking love Behavior's original killer designs. Things like these, you know, Deathslinger, Spirit, Dredge, Singularity, all this kind of stuff, Unknown, you know. They consistently create very good, unique killer designs. You know, fucking Skull Merchant isn't available, don't know why. Probably because Twitter's been moaning again. But not to besmirch other... This is going on a right fucking tangent, this. This is what I'm talking about, opinionated, honest opinions, rambling, ADHD, autism, don't know what it is. I've got something, my mind just keeps going and going and going. I am going to stop in a minute. But stuff like this, not to put the genre down, I don't care. It's not horror. It doesn't do anything for me, you know. This shit, like, it's a guy, you know. I really don't... It's not fucking there for me. That's the only licensed killer I think I've ever thought, yeah, this is cool, you know? Because I like Silent Hill with the Pyramid Head, you know, that kind of thing, because it's still horror in his base form, you know? That's still horror to me. Because it's freakish and it's outlandish, you know? But yeah, as I say, going back to what this video is actually about, good shit. Actually good shit. I do like this. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to destroy the positive mood and we're going to dip over to Survivor and find out what absolute bullshit we're going to have to put up with in the game going forward. What aspect of the toxic killer playstyle have we patched out in this edition? What is that? Tory Kane, okay. As raised as a disciple of the Black Talon, condemned to be a sacrifice. We've got an invocation perk straight away. Let's have a look at her. I'm assuming this is a she. Yeah, it is a she.
A chance. I would be your most loyal servant.
Ooh, I like the psychotic vibe. Okay, so we've got a cultist as a survivor. I mean, she looks quite cool. It's quite out there again. She kind of matches the aesthetic of the killer there as well. Maybe they are actually related in this one. I'm going to assume that maybe the killer's the head of this cult, maybe. It's usually like that. They're usually like friends, but not friends anymore. Whenever you get killers. Right, anyway, let's have a look at the perks, shall we? Fucking hell, here we go again. Right, invocation, here we go. Treacherous Crows. Okay, when in the basement near the circle, press the ability, yep. Invocation takes 60 seconds, yep. Once the invocation is completed, you become injured and gain the broken status effect. Good, that's still there. When a survivor is in the terror radius and the killer scares a crow, Their aura is revealed to all survivors for 2 seconds. Right, going into this, fellas, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a fucking professional killer player and all this kind of shit, but I'm generally at reasonably high MMR, and I do generally go against a lot of Swifts, so when I make assumptions based on these perks, a lot of it is going to be with Swift in mind, something that needs to be fucking nerfed in this game, as much as we don't like to admit it. It breaks the fucking game, quite honestly. For people using external software for a very distinct and clear advantage has ruined this game for both sides, both solo queue, which is what I play Survivor in, and the killer itself, because it's created numerous balance issues throughout the years that have basically snowballed into the absolute shit show that is high MMR these days. Take a full stop, but there it is. So this is going to buff Swift massively. When a survivor is in the terror radius and the killer scares a crow, the aura is revealed for 2 seconds. It's information to everybody. Although this also helps solo in the same way, because it does reveal it to everybody, so you don't even really need Swift. But at the same time, it does kind of... You've still got the benefit with Swift of communication. Obviously, if it's on solo, only you is going to know. You can't communicate or formulate plans with this. In solo queue, you're just going to know where they are. But it is going to make people a lot wiser. That said, it is an invocation, which means you break yourself for the rest of the trial to get this off. Which probably means solos are not going to run this. So you're probably not going to see it too much for that reason. In a Swift, it's kind of mediocre. Not very relevant, probably. But I can see it probably maybe being tried in Swift for the first couple of weeks. But in the long run, I don't think this is going to be too viable, to be honest. There are easier perks like Alert for solo queue. I use Alert a lot. I think it's quite underrated, to be honest, to see where killers are. But yeah. I don't know, I think it's just meh, to be honest. I think that's literally it. I think it's just, yeah, it exists. Moving on, clean break. We're going to say it as well, there's always one perk that gets released that breaks the game, so it's not the first one. We're going to see if it's this one, clean break. After you finish healing another survivor while being healed by another survivor... What? After you finish healing another survivor while being healed by another survivor. Fucking human centipedes possible now, are there? No, it's the way it's worded. So after you finish healing another survivor, when you are being healed by another survivor. Yeah, it literally should say that, rather than just while being healed, but sure, whatever, get on with it. Press the ability button to gain the broken status effect. Fuck's sake, what does this do? I'm not looking yet. After 60 seconds, you become healthy. This is like... Is this for the people, but half the effect? After you finish healing another survivor, so that survivor goes to full health. So while you're injured being healed by another survivor, press the ability button to gain the broken status effect. After 60 seconds, you become healthy. So you're basically telling people to fuck off. That's what it is, essentially. You just need them to, like, tap you, basically. I'm trying to think where you'd actually use this. I don't think it's viable enough to knock Resurgence off, to be honest. Because Resurgence is almost instant anyway. You run Wheel Make It or have any kind of healing speed with Resurgence, it's insta-heals or fucks. It cuts out the healing period, but there is still the risk that you're broken. If the killer does come back to the hut, they're going to go for you because you're broken. Yeah, I think it's just... It's a similar kind of effect as Resurgence, but just not as good, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a worse Resurgence, to be honest. Well, there you go. Right, this must be our problematic one. Not looking at it yet. We're looking at the survivor currently. I need an eye tracker for you to believe me, but, you know, if it is problematic, I'd probably be screeching at the fucking screen at the moment. But, yeah, shoulder the burden. Once per trial, as long as you are not on death hook. This is scary shit already. Press the ability button 2 in front of a hooked survivor to unhook them. Okay, that's unhooking a survivor, isn't it? When they are unhooked, they lose 1 hook state and you gain 1 hook state. You also scream and gain exposed after 20 seconds. For fuck's sake. Just gonna wind the clocks back, fellas. What I said with the first perk, where I'm going to assess this based on Swift. So basically what this means is Swift is now impossible to compete with, because they've just given him jurisdiction over who gets what hook state. Fucking clueless. Absolutely fucking clueless. Oh, fucking hell. Right, okay. So, what's going to happen now, fellas, is when you boot into that 4-man Swift that has numerous second chances already, and you need to basically get somebody out because you are essentially against 4 people who are using external software for an unfair advantage in, you know, I'm talking about high to top MMR Swift. You're going to try and get somebody out. They've basically got... What's this person got? If you're trying to get somebody out, right, because you need to do it to slow gens down to feasible, give yourself a good chance to win against 4 people that are communicating. This one survivor that you now need to get out, and this goes for any survivor you want to get out at the beginning of the game here now, right? They have got... You can't do it while they're on death hook. 1, 2, 3, 4... Is it 5? So when they're unhooked, they lose the hook state, so they go back as though they wasn't hooked, right? No, as long as you are not on death hook. Okay. Hang on a minute. Can you use this infinitely? If 2 people run it? No, once per trial. Fucking hell, I had a fucking heart attack there. Once per trial, okay. Yeah. Right, okay. But still, if you've got 4 people running it, because Swift will do this if it's worth it. You've got 4 people running this, right? So somebody gets hooked, right? They go to 1 hook state. Somebody comes over. They use it. That person, it's like they've never been hooked, right? You gain the hook state. You go onto the hook. Your friend, who might have had it, who was on the hook there, comes over, uses it. They gain that hook state back. You lose the hook state. Then somebody else does it on the team. So that's another 2 hook states, and then somebody else, the last person uses it, that's another 2. Fucking hell, dude. I'm going to have this done against me, and it's going to be the most rage-filled fucking video going, but if this is what I think it is, fellas, it's fucking ridiculous. I want to believe that something about me calculating these are off, I really do, but it's behaviour, I don't think it is. This is going to get used in Swift. It's going to make games actually impossible for killers. Fucking unreal. Right, I'm going to just wait for it to happen, basically. I'm going to refuse to believe that that's what this is. Because I know they can only use it once per trial, but if you've got 4 people running it, yeah, this is once per trial, once per person per trial. It's an extra stage, basically. An extra wave, so to speak. Because you're still going to have to burn through 4 hooks in coordinated Swifts before you can basically just start hooking people properly. I think. I don't know, I'll have to see. But I have a feeling this is going to be really fucking problematic because we don't play the game. So we haven't got a clue what we're actually implementing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Yeah. Right, anyway, to summarise, fellas, it was always going to end on a negative because there's always something about survivors that pisses me off because there's always like a second chance perk. This is really good. I do like this. It is a potential main, because I love her already. We're going to feed some points in. I might do a round at the end of this video. Might do this as a separate, you know, review because it will be quite long. This we'll probably do the gameplay. I'll put out a gameplay video with this video net alongside it, you know. But yeah, very impressed with this actually. It does look quite nice. I've just noticed the mask around her head. She's got it on sideways though for some reason. That's a bit fucking weird. But yeah, very excited for skin potential as well. For some reasons, all the reasons, you know, it's there. You can see where I'm going with that. But you know, there is definitely, you know, a lot of junk in the trunk. Sorry, I am male. You'll have to deal with it. 200,000 years of evolution. It is what it is. But yeah, very excited about this, to be honest. Part of me thought that, you know, part of this was just somebody taking the piss, to be honest, when they leaked it. I didn't think they'd actually do stuff like this, but again, as I say, they know how to do decent original killer designs, you know. They nail it every time as far as I'm concerned. Apart from this shit, you know, as I say, and fucking these dickheads, you know. It is what it is. But they consistently make very unique stuff, you know, and lately they're just showering it with fucking licensed shit, and it's really uninteresting to me. But again, personal opinions. Anyway, there we go. There's the review. I'm gonna feed these 42k points into it. We're not gonna have too much here, but we're gonna just go for it. And we'll see. You know, we'll get into a game, see how she plays. But yeah. Hopefully see you over on the next video that goes out with this. Hopefully anyway, provided I can get a game that isn't TTV lobbies. But yeah. Ta-da.